Hello and welcome. You're watching Fine Print. Our top story, well, the latest on the outbreak of coronavirus that is nearly affecting 100,000 cases globally, and the number of coronavirus-related deaths in the U.S. has now reached 14. The White House has now acknowledged that the nation does not have enough test kits for the deadly virus. Also, the Pentagon has said that efforts to develop a vaccine may not happen as quick as we thought before a second wave of the virus may hit in the winter. Let's first listen into what the U.S. Vice President Mike Pence had to say about the outbreak in the United States.
We do have about 1.5 million test kits going out as we speak to hospitals, particularly hospitals in areas that have seen coronavirus cases.
And well, the number of people infected is now 228 across 19 states in the U.S. 3 American states have declared a state of emergency. Schools have been abruptly closed in Washington and New York City. 9 of the dead in the United States were from the same hospital in Seattle. Authorities are now trying to ascertain whether the infection prevention guidelines were followed or not. And major Seattle area businesses, including Microsoft and Amazon, have shut their operations or have urged employees to work from home. The Asian Development Bank has predicted that the global economic loss due to the deadly virus could go up to $347 billion, and the minimum losses are projected at $77 billion, which is 0.1% of the global gross domestic product, while the maximum losses could be 0.4% of the global GDP. Now, concerns over the economic costs have had a huge impact on Wall Street, sending the 3 main U.S. stock indices down more than 3%. And travel companies and airlines are the worst hit, suffering double-digit decline. And the International Air Transport Association has warned that the industry could lose as much as $113 billion this year. And WION's Nick Harper is now joining us live from Washington for the latest on the situation in the United States. And, well, Nick, what is the government doing to stop the further spread? It says that the vaccine is, some way far away at the moment, which is what most countries are saying. And authorities are also saying that you don't have enough kits there. Now, all of this coming in the backdrop of the WHO saying that we're nearing that 100,000 mark of cases globally.
That's right. The United States certainly worried about those test kits, certainly worried about the vaccines. They're ploughing a huge amount of money into trying to resolve both of those issues. Within the last 20 minutes or so, the US President Donald Trump has signed an emergency funding bill totaling $8.3 billion. Now, that bill amounts to a whole range of different money that they hope to push in different areas. So some of that will be used for treatment, some of that will be used to stockpile supplies that will be needed, some of that will be used for testing and treatment. And obviously trying to get those testing kits and to develop the vaccine are top of their priority list. They also say that more than $1 billion will be used internationally to help to protect Americans who are living and working abroad, making sure that they don't get the coronavirus. There is that concern over the last week or so that the US government hasn't been forthcoming enough with its plans, with what it's doing. Mike Pence, the vice president, is heading up the coronavirus task force, but there is that overall worry that they're simply not doing things quick enough, and that problem that we've seen with the testing kits has certainly caused alarm bells to ring.
Right, and the WHO, in fact, today has said in a press conference that this is not a drill anymore, and most countries have been ill-prepared to handle this epidemic. But going back to the United States, Nick, now also we believe that some thousands of people are stuck off the coast of California on a cruise ship. What do we know about this specific case, and even as, of course, the markets have been jittery all over the world, including in the United States?
Yes, so this cruise ship, the Grand Princess, it's currently in the water off the coast of California, just off of San Francisco. The governor of California is refusing for that boat to dock. There's 3,500 passengers on board, and the problem is that more than several dozen have shown symptoms so far. They haven't got any confirmed cases, but part of the problem is that a passenger that was on that cruise ship a few weeks ago came off the ship and then died, and 4 people he was with that were also tested positive. So there is fear that potentially the virus is lurking on that ship, and that's why they're not letting them dock. But they don't have enough testing kits on board. So we've seen the US military fly over in helicopters to drop off testing kits to try and find out how many people on board have the virus, and therefore to work out next steps on what they're going to do. But at this stage, 3,500 people stranded at sea. And yes, the markets as well, certainly having some problems. We saw the Dow Jones drop by more than 900 points on Thursday. Markets have opened just 8 minutes ago, and we've already seen a big drop. The Dow down by about 800 points. That's about 3% down. So for the 2 days, about 6% down. It is definitely a disastrous end to the week after what has been a very volatile week of trading on US markets.